The Improved Production Racing Association of Victoria is proudly supported by Prestige Hino, Australia's most awarded Hino dealer, 888 Home Loans for all your mortgage needs, ProCut Tree Services, Melbourne's most trusted for tree and stump removals, DLL Photography and Design, complete website and e-commerce solutions, Traction Tyres and Yokohama Motorsport, performance and safety for road or race.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Sandown. Having looped through all the tracks once on the calendar so far this year, we're back to Sandown again for a second time for round 4 of this year's IPRA Victorian Club Championship. Well, we are in the middle of the last month of winter, and while it's bright and sunny at the moment, the forecast, unfortunately, is for rain. And for a very important round in this year's championship, who masters the tricky conditions the best is going to be very important for the outcome at the end of this season. So, with that in mind, let's see how the weekend unfolds. Starting on the opposite side of the front row for race 1 this afternoon will be Jared Tonks. Jared's a PB for you in terms of qualifying performance. Not all smooth sailing though. What would have been your best lap got scuppered by a little bit of traffic very late in the piece.
Yeah, it did, Steve, but I'm still happy with the lap I did. It was pretty close to my PB. I made a couple of mistakes early on in the first 2 flyers, so yeah, it was a good result, 15-4 and second spot and on the first row, so happy with that.
Now, I've been told you're running a couple of new components this weekend, mainly a new big thing under the front part of the car.
Yeah, the heart of the car, a new motor. It's been in the works for 2 years now, so it's good to finally have it up and running and in the car. It helps the straight line speed, so that's good.
Qualifying on a Saturday morning at Sandown goes to Adam Poole. Adam, you had to ease your way into that one, unfortunately. Some dramas for you on Friday curtailed your running a bit, but you ended up with the pole by 3/10.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Not the easiest of qualifying. We had a diff let go yesterday, which required a rebuild overnight. So the guys from Ravage, Dean and Andrew, sort of stuck at that away last night and fixed it. So, and then this morning we had to bed in brakes as well when we went out for quali. So a few slow laps early, and then managed to get a clear lap at the end, and thankfully went as quick as I've been here before. So yeah, all in all, pretty happy, mate. Thank you.
Wayne Wayne, I had a little bit of a chuckle when we were reading qualifying because at one stage your name was up the top end of the standings with all the silly things going on with the timing. But in all honesty, how's the car going so far this weekend?
It's going really well. I'm just taking it easy. Was expecting some rain this morning, but it's sunny Sandown, so we'll see what this afternoon holds. But yeah, just moving around, enjoying myself, taking in the scenery. Haven't been off the track, a few people have, but yeah, it's been a lovely day.
Well, you're dressed like a farmer at the moment. What does your instinct tell you about the weather? Do you think we're going to get rain this afternoon or not?
I think it's coming. If we look around the horizon, you'll see that we're getting closed in on. I think it's going to rain, but whether it's on our race, I don't know.
Kate, they turned what would have been a 10-lap race into a 4-lap affair, unfortunately, with some clean-up work they had to do from some other categories, but a club sprint, essentially. How did you find it out there?
Yeah, look, mate, it was a bit disappointing to have 4 laps, but look, the car was great. Everything up the front there was pretty clean, and it was a good race, but just cut short, unfortunately.
Yeah, a bit sad that they cut it so short at short notice. I guess that's the way things go, but looking forward to, hopefully, a pair of 10-lap races on Sunday.
Yeah, hopefully, mate. It's a good little setup for the car. 4 laps is a nice little test, and hopefully tomorrow we've got it a little bit better again.
Someone we've been meaning to catch up with for a little while is a new entrant into the category this year in Kimi Misiki. You've had some dramas throughout the first couple of rounds. We've tried to catch up, but the car's going this weekend, so it's finally a good chance to say hello.
Yeah, finally, thanks to Pinnacle. They've helped me get the car going, and I've had an awesome weekend so far. It's been great.
Well, talk to us about your background. Why did you come to play in IP, and what have you done prior to coming over here?
Well, prior to this, I was doing Targa. I was in the Targa, so I was doing the tour section. And I wanted to actually go and compete, and my husband didn't really want me to do that, so we compromised on coming into Improved Production. Cam McKinnon actually got me involved in Improved Production, helped me a lot as well. And yeah, here I am. Now I'm here doing circuit.
Well, it's great to have you on board in what is a fairly modern Golf GTI for what's in the category nowadays with regards to all the other cars, the RX-7s and the Commodores and the like. The car's actually got a name for a surprise. It's Gina. Give us a bit of a background on why you've named the car Gina.
Well, my nan is 95 years of age, and she's an awesome nan. She's really strong, good woman, and I named her after her because I thought, what better thing to have my nan in the car with me.
Yeah, she's aboard with you whenever you want to go racing, and it's great to have you in the category, and good to finally see you out there on circuit racing around with the guys.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to the future.
Callum, you guys have had a pretty major turnaround overnight from Friday to Saturday. Apparently it got a little bit slippier than you were thinking in wet Friday practice.
Yeah, look, it certainly did. So unfortunately we had an oil cooler actually split in the third session yesterday, so could have been a lot worse. We thought we'd done an engine. We took the car back to Macedon Ranges, stripped it down, found out it was the oil cooler. Luckily had a spare one on the shelf, threw it in there, 2 a.m. this morning, loaded it back up, and we made it back. So, yeah.
Well, how'd you go in race one? Because it was a pretty short, sharp affair. Car still running okay after all the work overnight?
Well, no oil leaks, which is a good start, right? No, it's going well. It was a bit boring out there. Those guys in front of me were a bit quick and sort of just hung out by myself. But look, no, it's always good to get track time and dialing the car in. We've made some suspension changes recently. So, yeah, good opportunity. Looking forward to races 2 and 3 tomorrow.
Another debutant into the category this weekend is Rick Hogan. You brought a VS Commodore here, Rick, so it's the second one we've seen in IP this year. You're actually pretty raw in terms of actually track experience.
Yeah, I'm very raw. This is my first event, so yeah, we're just having a bit of fun and just rolling around and really enjoying it. So but just trying to keep out everyone's way and do our thing, and pretty much here just to learn and just learn technique and how the car goes and all that sort of thing. So yeah, just here was to come to really just get used to the car and get to go know the guys and all that. Yeah.
Well, you've actually got a little bit of help from Dean Lilly and the crew at Ravage. They do a little bit of work, I guess, that you can't do. Apart from that, car's fairly stock?
Yeah, it's just pretty stock. So it's just an LS with a cam, and that's pretty much what it is. So pretty much the car's just stock when you look at it. So
It doesn't look too outlandish from what I've seen, but the important thing you were just telling me before, you took a risk on a $1,500 motor for the car, and it seems to be paying off for you.
Yeah. It was just a fellow was closing down, and where he was working, and then he said, "Come down and you can have this engine for $1,500." So I went, "Oh, I'll take a risk," and took a risk on that, and I'm very happy with it. It seems to be holding together, touch wood. So so it's good. So we'll just run this and see how we go with it.
Dan, you've had an interesting start to the weekend. You lost it on your own right in race 1 at turn 7 and 8, backed it into the fence, but then you drove from the back of the grid up to 6th in race 2 this morning, so well done.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, yesterday was just, I don't know what happened, stepped out on me at the top of the hill, and I was just a passenger, so yeah, it was a good run this morning just to come back through the field, and I was a bit in no man's land behind the V8s, but yeah, it was all good.
Visiting us from New South Wales this weekend is Matt Harris. Matt, you've been into Victoria before, but not to Sandown before, so what's your first experience like of this track?
Lots of bumps. It's quite extreme actually. It's something that I haven't experienced before, and consequently having to learn braking points and that, it's a whole different aspect that we've got to take into account in our driving style. So yeah, keeps us on our toes and something else to learn.
Well, your car seems to have a fair bit of poke in a straight line up against our under 2 litre best and Steve Zorkis and Paul Javots, and you're used to running with some pretty substantial grids up in New South Wales. So what's it like being combined with the overs here?
It's a little bit different. It's a lovely challenge. I quite welcome it. I always relish in the case when we do get combined grids up in New South Wales. It's just something different. It's almost like a David and Goliath situation, if you like. But it creates more racing, and it's more disparity between cars on the grids. So really enjoying it.
Glad to have you down. It's always good to have somebody that's got a bit of experience in a different state and come to experience what life is like in Victoria sometimes. So all the best for the remainder of the weekend.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Danny, it's been a bit of an up and down weekend for you. I'm staring at the tyre that let go on Friday because of the suspension dramas, and you started from the back of the grid through some other issues for race 2 this morning.
Yeah, it's been a very challenging weekend for us. Friday we had just one problem after another, and we've had drive shaft failures, starter motor failures, and it's just been pretty frustrating, but it was good to get a good result then. Starting off the back of the grid and work our way back to 5th is very pleasing.
Absolutely. Now, that's very important from what you were telling me earlier this morning, because you wanted a dry race and then you couldn't care less if it rained this afternoon. Well, it started to come down, albeit briefly. What do you think?
Yeah, well, it was sort of forecast, so it was just a matter of I didn't want to start off the back of the grid in a wet race because it just makes it too hard to pass. So I've made my positions back, so now we're starting from probably where we should be, and we'll just duke it out in the wet if that's what comes.
We got a wet third race to finish the day, and it was Luke Gretschkumbo. You put on a very, very impressive display in the wet conditions. It's been a while between wins for you, though.
It has been. I think I've had a win this year, so that was a nice little one. I'll be honest, I was praying for rain all weekend, so I'm probably the only bloke with a rear-wheel drive car that's really happy to have the rain around Sandown, but that was good fun. Cade stayed in the mirror there, though, so he kept me pretty honest. So well done to Cade and Jared for coming third. That was, good fun.
round winner for round 4 here at Sandown is Jared Tonks. Jared, congratulations are in order because you not only got your first IPRA race win this weekend, but you stood on every step of the podium across all 3 of the races.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Yeah, rapt to get the round win this weekend, and happy to be on the podium for all 3 races. And to get my first win was a big achievement for how long I've been in improved production and not quite been able to get there yet. But and I've got to say thanks to Adam for the competition this weekend. He pushed me all the way and couldn't get him in the first race. And Luke and Cade, congratulations in the last. They drove really well in the wet and showed how good drivers they are.
And like that, we've reached the conclusion of the 4th round of this year's Improved Production Victorian Club Championship, which also doubled as the 4 seasons of Sandown, because that's precisely what we got this weekend. We started in beautiful sunshine, it got cold, and eventually on the Sunday, the rain came down. And, well, it separated the good drivers from the really good drivers, let's put it that way. Our next event is in 6 weeks. It's down at Phillip Island, and we'd love to see you there. And this was a bit of a smaller IP field than usual, so if you've got a car sitting at home, where the bloody hell are you? We'll see you at Phillip Island. Bye for now.